The Small Grants Program, which is funded by the Global Environmental Facility, GEF, is encouraging non-governmental organizations as well as community-based organizations to submit projects for funding that will help to make those organizations and communities sustainable. There are 5 broad areas that the projects must fall within. These include biodiversity conservation, climate change mitigation, sustainable forest management, reduction and elimination of persistent organic pollutants, and the protection of international waters. The GEF program is new to Guyana and has been around for some 2 decades now, according to the national coordinator, Ian Kissoon.
The demand for SGP emerged from the negotiations for the establishment of the Global Environment Facility that took place in 1991. This is leading up to the first United Nations Conference on Environment and Development, which later became known as the Rio Earth Summit. Representatives from civil society as well as UNDP called for a window for NGOs in the emerging GEF, which would have otherwise primarily supported large projects where communities and civil society are not the major decision makers.
The United Nations Development Program, the UNDP, implements the GEF program, and resident representative in Guyana, Kisa Mikami, said they are happy to support the initiative that will no doubt be submitted for funding. She said the projects will be important if Guyana is to fulfill the Millennium Development Goals.
The presence of SGP in Guyana will not only complement the work of the UNDP in Guyana, but also contribute to the achievement of the Millennium Development Goals, MDGs. Protection for the sustainable management of biodiversity is important to achieving the MDGs. And these goals are unlikely to succeed if environmental sustainability and access to sustainable energy services for the poor are not fully addressed. Therefore, SGP will contribute to the achievement of the MDGs, and in particular, the following 3 goals.
Minister of Natural Resources and the Environment, Robert Prasad, said that the long-awaited coming to Guyana of the GEF program is welcome.
The launch of this program, too, is relevant given, as I pointed out just now, the expansion and the growth of the natural resources sector. Just last year, if you look in quantitative terms, the contribution of the natural resources sector to the economy has moved up to 20% of GDP. These developments have realized against a background of strong and continuously improving environmental and legality standards of operations that seek to ensure utilization within a framework of responsible environment management.
A national steering committee will look at the project submitted, and once it meets all the requirements, it will then be recommended to the UNDP for funding. The available funding per project can vary up to a maximum of $50,000 for up to 4 years. For Capital News, Raul Collins.